Okay guys, here we go. First SMG we've got to do of the bunch is the C9, and it's our typical 30 special zombie eliminations we've got to do on each weapon. So let's get straight into this. Doppelgast. Boom! That is the first SMG down. Okay, second SMG we've got to do on the list is the KSV. Let's get into this. Oh. Boom. Alright. Oh god, what's wrong with the audio? That now takes us on to the third SMG, which is the Tanto .22. Right, last one. Come on. Easy. There we go. And there we go. That's the Tanto .22 done. Okay, the fourth SMG we've got on the list is the PP919. So this should be pretty fun. Alright, Mimic. Oh, shit. Get off me. No. Ugh. There we go. Lovely stuff. If it would pop up. There we go. Second to last on the list, we have the Jackal PDW. Bye-bye. And there we go. That is the Jackal PDW done for OPAL. And lastly for the list, we have the Kompakt 92. Alright, Mr. Mimic, come here. Boom. There we go. And, yep, we have OPAL done for the Kompakt 92. So now that we've done all 6 SMGs, let's get to the video. Okay, guys, so here we are on the SMGs video. I'm taking this grind at a slow pace, okay? We're nearly finished, you'll be pleased to hear. But anyway, yeah, this is basically a guide, guys. So I'll give you tips on how I did all these challenges as fast as possible. I'll give you a ranking as well at the end of what I think. And I'll just give you a general consensus of the overall weapon category and what it was like to do. So, let's get into the very first thing, which is for all of the weapons, and it's the military camos. Obviously, you've got your standard 2,000 critical hit kills, and you already know what I'm saying, because if you watched all these videos, you know that the best tip is to go and watch this video. Yes, watch that video, give me more watch time. But yeah, honestly, the oil trap on Citadel is still working. I don't think they have any plans of patching it. It's been working for literally months now. This is probably my 5th month into this grind, just, you know, taking this a complete back seat, you know, not even trying, and they still haven't patched it, so it's clearly not going to be patched at all. So yes, check that video out if you haven't already. That video is going to explain it a little bit more in terms of how it works and everything you need to make sure to do when setting it up, but it's pretty simple and it can be done in literally one match. You can get a whole gun done in a match, and I even cut corners, so some of these weapons I wasn't even having to go into separate games for, because typically when you load up a game, you're only allowed to bring a certain loadout into it. So that means when you save that game as a save file, you also, every time you load it back up, will be given the same gun you were using when you made that game, even if you have changed your weapon to a different gun that you want to grind. So the way I kind of beat around this, and it doesn't work for every gun because not every gun has a wall buy, is you will go and buy the wall buys for certain weapons. And if you haven't actually seen, I have another video about really cool secrets inside of Call of Duty, and I actually mentioned in that video, one of the cool tricks you can do is save weapons as zombie builds, which is a simple button you just select inside of the weapon class setup area, and it will basically save it as, you know, your own custom weapon. So every time you buy it off the wall, it's going to give you that weapon with its attachments already on it. So with me being able to do that, I was able to do, say, the C9 in a game and then buy the KSV off the wall on Citadel and just grind that weapon after that and do 2 lots of weapons. So you could really get this done super fast with this oil trap technique. It's not even funny. The only thing you're doing is throwing Molotovs down every so often and setting up the oil traps, and you're just sitting on a wall and letting the game kill the zombies for you. I don't know why it works, but it does. So there you go. That is always going to be my best advice. But you know, typically you are going to want Deadshot Daiquiri on if you're just playing normally, and you're going to want to have some sort of high pack-a-punch and high rarity on your weapon. This is a no-brainer. This is going to make getting those kills even quicker. But anyway, that's the military camos out of the way. So let's talk about the first special camo, which is for the C9, and it is to get 30 parasite eliminations. Now, if you want a game that's specifically just going to give you parasites, especially on those special rounds, you're going to want to go on Terminus. That map only gives parasites, but you can get parasites on pretty much every single map just through playing normally. The only map that doesn't allow parasites to spawn in is Liberty Falls, and also on the Shattered Veil, because on the Shattered Veil they only have toxic zombies. Really, you're going to want to go on any other map than those two, which is just the other 3. I've also given tips in some of these other videos for parasite kills. If you go on Citadel, there are actually random boxes hatches that can be down in like the cellar area, and those can be broken, and they sometimes will spit out parasites, so that can help. And you can also, I think, inside of that one castle area, just outside of where it goes down to the cellar, if you put a stamp on the statue's hands, I believe it's supposed to give you a sword, and when you pick the sword up, it spawns parasites in. There's a bunch of different ways you can actually get parasites to spawn in on command, really, other than just doing them on the special rounds, but this should happen pretty quickly. I didn't really have much difficulty with this, I'm not gonna lie. The second special camo that you're gonna do for the C9 is to get, of course, 300 eliminations with the gun whilst it's pack-a-punched. Piss easy. Pack-a-punch your gun, get those kills, and that can be tracked in the oil trap, so you don't actually have to think about that one. And then the second SMG you're going to do is the KSV, aka the AK. AKA, that's just kind of funny. AKA the AK-74U. That's basically what the KSV is, and the C9 was obviously just the MP5. So the very first special camo you're going to do for the KSV is you're going to get 300 eliminations with dead wire equipped. So you've got to head to the arsenal for that. You're going to need 500 salvage, and you want to buy the electric ammo mod. That is the dead wire, and unfortunately any of these ammo mod challenges, you cannot do them inside the oil trap. It doesn't work. It wants you to actually kill the zombies, you know, shoot them with this on. I preferably went in circles to get masses of zombies to follow me, and then I'd start shredding through them and making sure you have pack-a-punches and high rarities on, of course. But another thing that works quite nice as well is having either frenzied guard on, which can attract zombies to you faster, meaning you can shoot more of them quicker. And I've also noticed that if you do this when you have the Tesla Storm on, it's pretty good. It can stun a bunch of them as they surround you, and you can shoot at them. It doesn't last a long time, so do be warned. And another really cool way of doing this is using like monkey bombs, you know, symbol monkeys, whilst they're distracted for a good amount of time, and you can shoot them all in one big area, and it's a lot more easier than having them run at you and punching you and stuff like that. So that's the best way you can legitimately do that, but these ammo mod ones, they just kind of suck. The second special camo you're gonna do for the KSV is to get 300 hit fire kills. So I basically did exactly what I did with the ammo mod challenge. I would walk backwards or just get zombies to follow me after getting them in a herd and just shoot at the hip. That's all you can really do, making sure you have high strength on your weapon. And another really useful thing is having stamina up on. You're gonna want to have stamina up just so that you can actually run faster, so you're not getting hit as easily. And the only thing you're gonna make sure as well is that your attachments are pretty well optimized for hip firing. So you can get certain laser attachments that help with hip firing accuracy. You can even get certain grips and other stuff like that, stocks on your weapon that will improve the overall balance whilst you're firing at the hip. So this one, you just cannot do it in the oil trap. It requires actually playing the game, unfortunately. The third one we have is the Tanto .22. So the first special camo challenge is that you want to get 5 critical kills rapidly 15 times. My best advice, do it in the oil trap. It's a lot easier, even though 5 critical hit kills is going to happen so easily if you're in higher rounds. Anywhere higher than round 10 at least, you can just get zombies around you and shoot at their heads really fast with Deadshot Dacryon, and it's going to do that super easily. Just do it 15 times. In fact, you don't even have to be in a high round for this. You can boot up a completely new, fresh game, get every zombie that's in that round to come into a circle, get them as near as possible, and then just do it that way if you're good at hitting the head. If you're not really good at hitting the head and you don't have Deadshot Dacryon yet, make sure you have at least an opticon of some form, like a reflex. It's going to make it a lot easier for some of those guns that have quite, you know, yucky looking iron sights. The Tanto's iron sight, thankfully, isn't that bad looking. I could use it perfectly fine, but it might help some of you if you have difficulty landing those headshots. Usually, my advice for headshots is just to aim slightly higher than where the head is, so you actually end up hitting it. But if the gun has recoil on it and you haven't like really optimized it well for recoil control, you can actually aim from like the neck or upper chest area and it'll spray up into landing a headshot. So it's all about how your gun is kind of set up. Second special camo challenge for this weapon is it's going to ask you again to get 300 eliminations with the weapon whilst it's pack-a-punched. You already know what to do with that one. Now we're on to the next one, which is actually a major favorite of mine, and it's the PP919, aka the Bison. We all know the Bison, aka the Bullfrog in Black Ops Cold War, so you know they just can't settle on a goddamn name, it appears. First special camo challenge for this is to get 300 eliminations with cryo freeze equipped. So same advice as I did with the other ammo mod, except this time you're gonna want to go to the arsenal and get the snowflake ammo mod. The second special camo you're going to do for this weapon is it's going to ask you to get 10 kills without reloading 15 times. So really it's going to be pretty easy if you've got extended mag on as well, because I usually do use extended mags. I know it's quite tempting to run the fast mags because I was using a fast mag, in fact, for this bullfrog because, you know, the bullfrog has a bit of a clunky reload. If you're going for that challenge, make sure you are having the extended mag on. It's going to give you even more ammo than you would normally have, especially in your primary, 50 rounds. So when you pack a punch, you have about 150 to 200. So you're going to have more than enough ammo to do this without reloading. And if you're using your gun sparingly and it's already pack a punched anyway, you're not going to need that many bullets to put into a zombie. So really, this one doesn't even need much explanation. It's just 10 kills without reloading the gun. I'm not sure if the oil trap did track this. I'm pretty sure it does because technically you're getting the kills and it's not counting any reloads going on because the gun's not doing it. But I would, just to be sure, do this normally. You'll get it done fast anyway. The very next weapon you have is the Jackal PDW. This was the gun, I think, that was broken in the beta. But anyway, this first special camo challenge is going to ask you to get 300 eliminations with Napalm Burst. So again, another ammo mod challenge. Woohoo. This one, the Napalm Burst, is just the fire ammo mod. Do what I did with the other ammo mod challenges. You'll be good to go. But the second special camo for this weapon is it's going to ask you to do 300 hip fire kills. So we've already given advice for that as well. It applies here as well. So that was a very quick weapon to cover. The final SMG you're going to do out of the base weapons is the Kompakt 92. And the first special camo challenge it's going to ask you to do for this weapon is it wants you to get 300 eliminations with it at rare rarity or higher. So if you go to the arsenal, it's going to be around 1,000 salvage. Well, 1,500 actually, because it costs 500 salvage to get the first upgrade, which is the green, you know, the uncommon. And then to get the rare, it's 1,000. So if you want to go straight to rare rarity, it's going to cost 1,500 salvage. You can get some from the boxes in the cellar, shoot someone and they will give you salvage. Something I actually forgot to mention, which I've been using for ages, is suppressors on all of my weapons. So if you actually put the suppressor or the monolithic suppressor on your guns, it's going to allow you to have extra salvage drops off zombies. And let me tell you, it's a huge difference compared to how much you usually get. Something that also helps as well, which you could try out, is getting the Vulture's Aid perk, because that is on Citadel, thankfully enough. Very useful at giving you extra drops off zombies. That can be done in the oil trap as well. You'd be pleased to hear, so that cuts you some corners there. But anyway, the second and final special camo for the SMGs here is the 300 point blank kills. And point blanks are a little bit annoying because they basically mean super close kills. And the only way you can really do this fast is, like I've said with some of the other ones, you're going to get the zombies to follow you around in circles until you've got them all in one place. The reason you do this is because you don't want them kind of coming out of nowhere, out of little climbing spots or doorways behind you and trapping you in. That gets really annoying. I often found that when you go around the courtyard, you know, near the spawn, if you run back and forth down there in circles with them following you and shoot up close, that works pretty damn well. But something you will definitely want to make sure to have on whilst you're doing this challenge is, of course, plenty of armor. That's going to be a no-brainer. You're definitely going to want high packer punches on and high rarities. And the only other thing I used for the point blank kills one, honestly, was I made sure to have the ether shroud on in case I get into any messy situations where they're starting to take a ton of damage off of me and I wanted to get out of that situation. I can just pop that and it will basically make me invisible to them for a bit of time. So you're just going to want to keep them within shooting range, basically 6 feet from you or closer, and you're going to dip in and out. So every time they swing, move away, go back in and shoot them. You'll pick up on this pattern pretty quickly, so don't worry. But there you go. So on to the mastery camos. So the first challenge you're going to have for the mastery camos for all these weapons is your lovely Mystic Gold challenge. 10 kills rapidly, 15 times. Easily done just through having a high rarity, high packer punch, but also the oil trap will do this one, so you don't even have to think about this. Like the Mystic Gold challenges, you kind of just get used to them after a while. There's something that is just like an easy little thing to do after all of your normal camos. It sounds backwards because Mystic Gold is supposed to be the mastery, right? It's supposed to be hard, but it's actually easier than the rest of them. So this one is going to be pretty simple. Oil trap is going to work like a charm for that. And of course, the OPAL challenge for all these weapons is your good old 30 special zombie eliminations. And the tomb, that video right here, check that out if you haven't already. That still stands as the best technique in this game by far. There's no other maps that will come close. There's no other techniques that I even have heard about that do anything like this. You basically are bugging the game to keep giving you special zombies every time you're going in and out of the ice staff trial area, sometimes throwing 2 or 3 of them at me. It's nuts. But that is the fastest way you can get those special zombie kills done in about usually 2 games. Very, very quick to set up as well. But anyway, that is all of the SMGs. I have to say, the ranking, it's actually a bit of a difficult one. Hold up, I need to get my phone because I actually made a ranking for this. The reason I had to make a ranking on my phone as opposed to just kind of going off the dome is because these weapons are some of them are similar and some of them are just better in different areas. Really, I think the top best weapon out of all of these that you're going to use for zombies, PP919. Absolutely spot on. This gun is just 0 recoil, complete straight pinpoint accuracy. It's satisfying. The fire rate is perfect. I had so much fun using this gun. In second place, it was a very difficult ranking between Tanto .22 and Jackal PDW. Whilst the Tanto has technically a slower fire rate, it has a far lot less recoil, but the Jackal PDW has faster fire rate, but it hasn't got quite as perfect recoil, but both of them feel really, really good. So they're both going in second. Then in third, we have a tie between as well, C9 and KSV. The C9, it has a fast fire rate. It's pretty accurate, but not the most perfect recoil, and the damage isn't great either. It's the fast fire rate really makes up for the damage rate, and the KSV has a high damage output, but it kind of just feels a little bit chuggy. I don't know how to explain it. Like, one of them feels like chuggier, and the other one feels lighter. So they both have fast fire rates. They're not the greatest in terms of recoil, and not the greatest in terms of damage output, but they're both pretty damn accurate. And in fourth, we have the Kompakt 92. Now, it's not that it's shit. It's powerful, fast fire rate, but it has the most recoil of the bunch, even when you've put a bunch of stuff on it to try and improve it. But needless to say, all of these SMGs were a lot of fun to use. This game did a great job with the base SMGs. That's my ranking. Probably one of the best classes I could have done. They're up there with the shotguns for sure. Really fun weapon class. That's kind of why I left it nearly to last, because we've still got the melees to do. So just 2 melees and we've got Afterlife to work on. So that's going to be super cool. Obviously, OPAL, I think, looks amazing on these weapons. It's definitely a nice diamond alternative. Other than that, thank you everybody for watching. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to smash a like on this video. It helps me out, pushes the video further in the algorithm. So thank you so much. Drop a comment if you want as well. You can just let me know what you think. If there's anything else you'd like me to explain a bit better, I will. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.